like you might love a mother who popped you out on the steps of an orphanage once and now stops you to ask if you got a smoke for her. Every new day here means 100 new arrivals, but only half these gonks will survive a year, and that's if a street samurai like Mort player for so long. The faster you live, the faster you burn out. If you don't get a bullet to the brain first.
Hello YouTube, it's PS3 Gaming Scotland here, and welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are well and gaming lots. So in today's video I'll be giving you my full opinion and thoughts on Cyberpunk 2077. So yeah, before we get into the video, please be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and also comment down below whether you've played Cyberpunk or are waiting for the PS5 release. So yeah, in today's video I'll be talking about my pros and cons of Cyberpunk 2077, parts of the game, there'll be no spoilers in this game, and what it was like to earn the Platinum Trophy. This isn't a formal review as such, it's just more of my sort of informal sort of thoughts and the feelings on the game. So yeah, let's jump into my thoughts and feelings of Cyberpunk 2077. So first up then, we have the fact that there was two main trailers under the banner of allegedly false advertising, just in case. Yeah, false advertising of Cyberpunk 2077. So in one of the trailers it mentions the NPCs will have a full sort of daily routine. That's not in the game. There is a day and night cycle. However, the image at one of the crossings we saw with bustling area full of people and cars and living and breathing sort of city on base PS4 didn't come to fruition. Totally empty. The open world is great in certain circumstances, but the open world on the base PS4 is empty. It's very vertical and there's a lot to be desired, a lot missing. That's one main thing. Second main thing is the constant game crashing. Now they have released a couple of patches, but in all honesty, initially it looked as though the game crashing had improved slightly, but after finishing the game was still crashing quite a bit, so I can't really say if it's improved that, even though initially I kind of thought it would have. But yeah, so the game crashing, the constant drop in frames. Now this is really noticeable and it's really bad, dropping frames throughout the whole 86 hours I spent playing this game. That is the most infuriating part of the game, constant drop in frames. You're moving from A to B and the things are popping in as well, and it's not great at all. This game should have been delayed again. That would have caused more backlash, but I think people would have got a better product at the end of it. So yeah, the bugs and glitches, now there are quite a few. I was driving along a road and the car just randomly jumps into the air out of nowhere, or you're driving past certain areas and cars pop in and randomly start falling from the sky. Again, something's clearly wrong with this game. And also that you are driving, police show up out of absolutely nowhere and start shooting at you for ages. Again, something wrong with the police mechanic in this game. And also when you're coming in and out of menus, they take forever to load up. Obviously base PS4, granted, I don't know if it's going to be better on, I would assume it's better on PS5, and obviously it looks really good on PC. So yeah, they were the sort of main negatives of the game. You obviously had game crashes, the drop in frames, the bugs and glitches, the empty world, the false advertising, the buggy menus. I can go on, they're the ones I really want to mention, but there are some positives in this game, which are the story. I really enjoyed the story of Cyberpunk. NPCs that you get to meet along the way are really interesting, fulfilled characters. There's a lot of lore, a lot of backstory with their sort of roles and how they all sort of connect to the world. The art style, I really loved the art style of Cyberpunk, the sort of neon colours, different colours, and also the writing in this game is second to none, is fantastic, and there are a lot of options and conversations that really explore in depth about the characters, the world and the surrounding areas, which really make this game really fantastic. And lastly, the impressive standard edition. Now in most games you just get the game for the standard edition, but CJ Projekt Red have went above and beyond with the standard edition. So you get the sort of slipcase with the game, you get 3 or 4 postcards of pieces of art on them showing the different areas, there's some digital content you get, and the map, and you get a actual manual of background and story of the game. And overall they are the main negatives. There are a lot of negatives and there's also some positives in there as well. So overall, the platinum for the game was quite time consuming. It took me 86 hours to get the platinum for the game. It was a real slog towards the end, however I did think there was a variety of different trophies, from stories, side quests, getting max level, collecting all the collectibles and vehicles and combat related trophies. So overall I enjoyed the list. It was very varied, and yeah, it was a good list with the multiple endings, which you didn't need to have a manual save set up. The last mission just stayed stayed in the game once completed, but it was quite annoying when you were going from A to B getting the collectibles, for example, or 100% of the map. The main path for the last mission stayed on the map, so it was quite confusing in terms of following one path, but you also had the other waypoints still on the map. But that could have been maybe transparent once you had beaten the game, so you didn't need to get confused. And also in terms of 100% in the different cities and areas of the map, I initially thought some of the trophies were bugged, but then I realised once 100% in the map that some missions that were in other areas counted towards like the first area and vice versa. So just be careful. There are guides online of all the main missions and side missions and gigs that you need for 100% completion. Now there's a lot of yellow icons that you don't need for 100%, like the fighting ones. The melee mechanics weren't great, however they're not required. But yeah, overall it was a real slog towards the end with the 100% in the map, and the enemies did get slightly more difficult. But yeah, honestly I really enjoyed going for the platinum. It was time consuming, it was a real slog, but I enjoyed the varied list. So yeah, they are my thoughts on the platinum. Now, do I recommend that you buy the game? Now that is a big question. Now, obviously I'm not going to tell you what you should be spending your money on and when you should be getting the game. That is down to you to decide, but based on my opinion, after putting 86 hours into this game to get the platinum trophy, I would personally recommend that you wait for the PS5 version, as I do think this game has a lot of potential, but obviously have to wait and see how things turn out. CD Projekt Red did release an apology video, which is welcome, but if the game is in that worse a state, they should have cancelled the PS4 versions or Xbox versions and just concentrated on the current gen versions. But yeah, they were in a predicament. Again, not defending them at all. I do think the game should have been delayed personally, but yeah, and obviously now we know that they've been hacked, all the source code being put online for their games. I'm not really sure how that will affect their roadmap going forward with the free DLC, which is welcome, and potential multiplayer that'll probably be getting delayed as well. But yeah, I do kind of think that they'll try and do like a No Man's Sky sort of thing, where at launch it was terrible and they'll hopefully try and improve it over time. But at the end of the day, it's about the game we get at launch, and the game we got at launch, in my opinion, was so unfinished, underbaked. Could have done with another year or two potentially in development. And yeah, they are my sort of thoughts and feelings of the game. So yeah, I would personally recommend you get the PS5 version further down the line, as I do think this game has a lot of potential and will only get better with time. So there you go guys, they have been my thoughts on Cyberpunk 2077. Some pros, some cons, some personal opinion. As always, let me know your thoughts below. Have you played the game, or are you going to wait for the game? Let me know your thoughts on that. And that is the end of today's video. As always, thank you very much indeed for watching. I've been PS3 Gaming Scotland, and I'll see you on another video. Thanks very much indeed guys. Bye bye.